Right now at 6, a witness to Halloween night gunfire at the Vancouver Mall describes the moments her boyfriend was shot.
The moment, because for those first few shots, it was like the room paused.
Plus, after almost 2 months of striking, voting is now underway on a new machinist's contract with Boeing.
Hopefully the company does change and go back to the way things used to be.
And later, a mental health expert weighs in on how to find some perspective.
Wow, I didn't think an election would be like this.
If the election countdown has left you feeling on edge. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Christine Pitawanich. Our top story here at 6, the person accused of opening fire at the Vancouver Mall Halloween night, killing a man, made his first court appearance today.
Devin Haskins is live at the Clark County Courthouse. Devin, you also talked with one of the survivors.
Yeah, that's right. 2 additional victims were injured in that shooting. Both of them at home now recovering. It was a scary moment that day on Thursday, Halloween night, for hundreds of people inside the mall, but also a mom, her 2 young daughters, and her boyfriend that was shot and injured. They say they're glad that someone was arrested in this, but say the shooting has done a number on them.
All right, Mr. Ward, you're making first appearance on a count of murder in the first degree and 2 counts of assault in the first degree.
Today in court, suspected shooter 32-year-old Travis Ward faced a Clark County judge. He's accused of killing 1 person and shooting and injuring 2 others at the Vancouver Mall on Halloween night. Court documents paint a more clear picture of what happened that night. Detectives say Ward entered the mall and put on a Joker-style mask before making his way to the second-floor food court. Police say Ward then shot the victim in the back of the head, identified by family as Jahar Perez. Police say Ward then kept shooting. Brandon Lear was caught in the line of fire, sitting at a table with his girlfriend's 2 young daughters and their dad.
And I'm sitting there looking at our 3-year-old just giggling and having fun. And the shots went off.
Lear was shot in the ribs on his left side. Daniel Martin, the girl's dad, was shot in the foot.
Somewhere in the mix of getting our little one, I remember holding my chest, but in the mix of going across the main walkway downrange of where the shooter was is when I got hit.
Michaela Martin, the mother of those 2 girls, was across the food court when the chaos erupted. She says it felt like time immediately stopped.
It was kind of a really surreal moment, because for those first few shots, it was like the room paused. Everything paused because everyone was trying to figure out what this was.
Michaela says the shooting has also had a profound impact on her daughters.
They're very sensitive to sound right now. Any little thing that drops, pops, snaps, they're at attention. Like, are we safe? Like, they immediately look for me to make sure that everything's okay. And it's just kind of, it's heartbreaking.
A heartbreaking turn of events for a night of trick-or-treating turned into terror inside the Vancouver Mall.
It went from such a great time to disaster in a heartbeat.
At this point, detectives don't know why Ward targeted and shot Perez. Ward will be back in court this Thursday afternoon. Back to you.
Devin Haskins in Vancouver this evening. Thank you, Devin. Well, let us talk about the Boeing strike now, with tens of thousands of aerospace machinists approaching 2 months on the picket lines and now wrapping up a vote on whether to accept yet another contract offer.
Sebastian Robertson is live in Everett, just north of Seattle. Sebastian, a sports arena there has now turned into a polling station.
It has. There is 1 hour left for those machinists, members of the machinists union, to come and vote. This is the largest labor union that Boeing has. They have been holding their ground for more than 50 days now. On the table, a 38% pay increase. The question is, will that be enough to seal the deal? For 52 days, rain or shine, striking Boeing workers have held the line.
It's all management. They are being contest. They do nothing. They don't care about the quality. They could care less about the quality of the airplanes.
Monday, Boeing machinists are voting to accept or reject the company's last best offer. 38% raise over 4 years with a $12,000 ratification bonus. It may sound like a lot,
but we haven't had any raise for 14 years.
Workers that thus far have dug in their heels. 94% voted to strike in September. And last week, 64% voted to reject a 35% pay increase over 4 years.
Hopefully the company does change and go back to the way things used to be. We build good airplanes, we build good parts, and the company takes care of their employees. I really hope that it goes back to that. I'm voting no on the contract. I'm in a position where I am able to hold out longer. I know that there's a lot of people that aren't.
Many union workers say they want their pensions back, a retirement plan the union membership voted to freeze more than a decade ago in exchange for keeping production in Western Washington. That's a sticking point for worker Andy Schlang.
I hope for no, but I think it will be yes.
A strike that thus far has hurt both parties. Workers have operated without a paycheck. Boeing reportedly losing more than $1 billion each month this strike goes on. Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg encouraging all eligible union members to vote. He says he is ready to go back to building the world's greatest airplanes, in his words. A simple majority is needed for this to pass. That is 50+1. Results may come by the end of the day. Back to you.
Yeah, we'll see if they can get to those numbers and bring it to you as it comes in. Sebastian Robertson in Everett this evening. Thanks, Sebastian. In your headlines, some newly released surveillance video shows the moment last week when authorities say an arsonist set a Vancouver ballot box on fire. You're looking at it there. You're going to see the smoke and then the puff of flames there. Police say they believe the same person targeted a ballot box outside the Multnomah County Elections Office. They describe the suspect as a white man between 30 and 40 driving a dark Volvo sedan. There it is. Authorities add it's likely he also has experience with welding based on the devices they recovered.
Portland police are investigating a shooting that seriously hurt one person near Southwest 12th and Alder in downtown. It happened last night. At this point, details are limited, but police say the person who was hurt should survive. No word yet on any arrests. Now to Clark County, where deputies are looking for this man, 27-year-old Maurice Haynes, after he was mistakenly released from jail a week ago. Haynes was serving time for criminal mischief and was supposed to be transferred to Oregon. Officials describe Haynes as black, 6'1", with a tattoo on his right forearm that reads Marquisha. A warrant has been issued for his arrest.
And Multnomah County commissioners are set to reconsider a nearly $1 million funding request from the sheriff's office later this week. This comes with the sheriff warning Portland's 2 jails are nearing capacity, meaning inmates would have to be released. The corrections department says it's short by about 30 staff and needs to boost its ranks to eventually increase capacity. Matt?
All right, David, thanks very much. It has been a wet day in the valleys and on the Cascades too, but it's cooling off. It's down to 30 degrees, still pretty windy, gets to 31 miles an hour. And there's been a little bit of new snow. You can see it in the parking lot, maybe a couple of inches, a few more on the way. In case you missed it, Timberline had a limited opening on Friday and Saturday. We're going to get more snow up there as we go into next week. But this week, it is just cloudy. It's 54. This is the Dalles. Look at the wind gusts at 37 miles an hour. So still very windy over and east of the Cascades. For the Portland area, we've really dried out. We haven't had rain in a couple hours now as the showers have all pushed up into the Cascades. And even there's not that many. And you're not seeing many showing up offshore just yet. But there will be tomorrow. On Election Day, we are going to get some showers. I think the middle part of the day is the most likely time when rain will be coming down. So tomorrow morning, cloudy, but it should be dry and about 45. Tomorrow afternoon, 56 as the sun goes down with sun and showers. And then the clouds will clear tomorrow night. And that sets the stage for some really nice midweek weather. A little bit of fog, maybe some frost, but lots of sunshine. We'll talk more about the return of mountain snow. We're going to have to wait till next week, but this is looking fairly promising. Guys?
Sounds great. Thank you, Matt. And on that note, it is Election Eve with just 26 hours remaining to make your voice heard. A reminder, in Oregon and Washington, your ballot needs to be in an official ballot drop box by 8 p.m. Tuesday or postmarked with tomorrow's date at the very latest.
So while people are turning in their ballots, businesses in downtown Portland are preparing for the possibility of violence. Our Daisy Caballero checked out the changes.
Pay attention and you can smell the sawdust in downtown Portland as businesses prepare for the unknown following the election results.
Well, we started at 6:30, but we got here at about 8.
Dimas True has stayed busy boarding up buildings like the old Trek Bicycles location off Salmon Street, a location that was damaged during the 2020 riots.
Are you surprised at all that this is the prep?
No, not now. Not after the last, few presidencies. This is all common. I expected it, so.
Now, maintenance worker with this building tells me to replace these 3 window panes, it would cost them about $15,000, which is why they're already prepping and boarding up all of their windows. Other businesses got a head start.
The boards went up, I believe it was last Thursday.
Jay Blyke owns B Tailors and Cleaners and says he's conflicted about the boarded windows.
It's just the messaging that bothers me a little bit. I would like to be in a downtown where you don't have to worry about putting boards up.
His windows have been smashed 4 to 5 times since the pandemic, so he's aware of the hefty cost.
So it's a huge expense and one that we really can't afford going forward. So being proactive with the boards is totally fine.
Bigger corporations like Wells Fargo wrapped a fence around the tower building.
I just hate it.
It's a sight those living downtown aren't thrilled to see.
It really gets next to me. It just shouldn't be. We shouldn't have to go through this all over again.
Many around Pioneer Courthouse Square are too in prepare mode. Many say they'll stay open as usual, pending any riots. And some workers have been given the option to work from home for these next few days, like Tammy Johnson, but that's not on her mind.
I'm not afraid. I'm not paranoid. I was here every day during the protesting. It didn't bother me because it's all elsewhere. It's not here.